Part 64. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 631. Chapter 631, Don't feel bad for the person who will drive you crazy, or you will become unhappy. It's okay, in fact, life is very short. If you endure it for a while, you might get over it. Lu Jing's face turned completely bad. You're right, you can just get through it. I can't be with my sweetheart in this life, and I'm alone. I really can't get through it. I really can't. I know where I have offended God. I just want my son to love me. Why is it so difficult? Really, I am willing to give up everything I have, as long as I can be with you. Lu Jing looked like this, and Sun Ying really felt a little guilty. After all, although Lu Jing is a bit mentally ill, he is really annoying when he is around him. But, it is indeed a little cruel to let him do this in front of the one he loves. Lu Jing, actually, don't be so discouraged. Sun Ying was interrupted before she finished her words. You can't let me live with my baby for the rest of my life. Sun Ying She couldn't help but regret the guilt she had felt just now. When did her brain go crazy? I actually feel sorry for Lu Jing. Don't feel bad for the person who will drive you crazy, and you will become unhappy. Li Baikan wanted to protect Sun Yan. The servants at home were changed as soon as possible. All replaced by those from old houses. The servants in the old house all know everything. This was done to seal the news of Sun Yan's pregnancy. But I didn't expect it. Let Lan Ji know it anyway. That's right, Lan Ji knows. And came to block people when Li Baikan was off work. Baikan. But Lan Min had no chance to get close to Li Baikan. The moment Li Baikan saw Lan Min, he wanted to kill someone. The helplessness of Mo Bao in the dream, and the pain of Sun Yan, suddenly appeared in his mind. But Li Baikan knew very clearly that he had to stay calm. Must be calm. The reason why God allowed me to dream about things in my previous life. I just hope that he can make Sun Yan and Mo Bao happy in this life. Don't be impulsive. Despite Li Baikan's efforts to restrain himself. But there is really no way to restrain the desire to kill. Lan Min was frightened by Li Baikan's terrifying eyes. But Li Baikan would never have been like this before. Li Baikan left in a hurry in order to prevent himself from breaking his defense. Seeing Li Baikan's back, she couldn't help but say what she had wanted to say for a long time. What would have happened if I had chosen you? Li Baikan stopped. Li Baikan was really a little surprised when Lan Min said this. After all, in the dream, Lan Min, who was in his 40s, was still in love with Huo Linyuan. Why are you saying this to yourself now? Are there any more variables? Saw Li Baikan, who stopped in his tracks. Lan Jian's hope was ignited. She knows it, she knows it. Li Baikan has been in a relationship with me for so many years, how could he not exist in his heart? It must have its own existence. There must be. At the beginning, I really thought that no matter what happened, you would never leave my side, and you said before that no matter what happened, no one could let you leave my side. I know I was a bit hypocritical, I ignored you, but I really want a chance to make it up to you. Okay, I'll give you this chance. Lan Min, who had prepared a lot of words, was stunned when Li Baikan agreed so directly. But just when Lan Min was in a daze, Li Baikan had already arrived in front of her. If you send Huo Linyuan's life to me, then I will forgive you. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 632. Chapter 632, Attacking Zi's shield with Zi's spear. Huo Linyuan's life. When Lan Min heard this, he took a few steps back. Seeing Lan Min like this, Li Baikan's eyes were filled with mockery. He. But if the female protagonist Lan Min really kills the male protagonist Huo Lin Yuan, you must know that Li Baikan has been preparing for something. How to deal with Huo Lin Yuan, the so-called male protagonist, through others. But now Li Baikan has another idea. What if Lan Min is allowed to deal with Huo Lin Yuan? It's like a story about contradictions. What if the sun's spear attacks the sun's shield? Sunian talks about it every day. She is a vicious female supporting character. In this novel, she is a vicious female supporting character. So what, just be vicious. Baikan, why do you always push me like this? You clearly know that I... Yes, I know exactly what you are thinking, that's why I said this. If you can really kill Huo Lin Yuan, then the Huo family will be leaderless. In this way, I can better develop the Li family. At this moment, Lan Min remembered the scene where Huo Lin Yuan said something similar. She really didn't understand why this was happening, why they were always like this. Why do you always have to do this, why can't you live in peace? Li Baikan didn't want to hear this woman's nonsense, so he interrupted directly, anyway, this is my request. If you can do it, then I will forgive you. If you can't do it, then I hope you don't do it with me appeared in front of me. After saying that, he left. Why can't we live in peace? Li Baikan really felt disgusted. What kind of brain does this have to say this? However, Li Baikan felt that he and Lan Min had been friends for so many years, so he couldn't embarrass her too much and had to help her. Dog bites dog, no matter who wins, it will be a piece of hair. Li Baikan and Huo Lin Yuan is really not available. Why is this happening? Why are they always killing each other like this? With such questions, she found Lin Na. After all, in this situation, she really doesn't know who to look for. Now she really felt like she was alone. But when Lan Min finished saying this, Lin Na just laughed. Laughing very wildly. I'm really curious now, why do these men fall in love with you? Is it because you are so clear and stupid? When Lin Na said this, Lin Na paused and looked up and down. If you think of it that way, you're really special. Anyone who is so humiliated would feel uncomfortable. Lin Na, don't say that, me and. What benefits can you bring to them? Let's not talk about Huo Lin Yuan. Let's talk about this Li Baikan. You don't give it to him. He has liked you for so many years. Hey, this man is just a bitch. The more he gets, the more he gets. The more you don't have, the more you want it. Lin Na felt a little sympathetic to Sunian now. This is Sunian too, why are you still so persistent? If it were me, I would have changed my man a long time ago. What does Sunian want from Baikan? Lan Min's voice was a bit sharp. What? The old man said a long time ago that all his property will be given to Sunian, and Sunian's parents died early, and her parents' inheritance is also in her hands, as well as the shares of Su Group. Su Group. At this point, Lin Na laughed. I'll tell you what you don't want to hear, Sunian's own wealth is something you won't be able to earn in a few lifetimes. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 633. Chapter 633. Very interesting things. Lan Min suddenly became anxious. She doesn't want to hear good things about Sunian now. In Lan Min's eyes, it was all Sunian's fault. Just when Lan Zhen was about to say something, Lin Na's cold voice sounded, okay, don't say any more. I'm not one of those stupid men, and I don't have a brain problem. You said this to fool me, it really doesn't work. Anyway, choose one of the two, or you can become a person who can dominate the Huo family and the Li family. Use your power to bring them both into your harem, and you can do whatever you want. If you want, it is simply impossible to ask them now. If it wasn't for Lan Min who could help him get what he wanted, Lin Na would not let this woman here, making her so disgusting. Don't be sad. Think about things on the bright side. Now that Sunian is pregnant, she will definitely put all her energy into giving birth. According to my information, Sunian has not been out of the house for a long time. It shows that Sunian attaches great importance to this child. It's hard for Baikan to have a child now at such an old age. Of course Sunian has to protect it. After all, her hope for the future lies in this child. If there is no problem with this child, then she will not have any problems in the rest of her life. Worried. But after Lan Min said this, a glass was smashed directly at her feet. If you come to me just to find someone who can listen to your nonsense, then please get out of here, Miss Lan. After all, for me, instead of wasting time complaining about Sunian with you here, I might as well find a way to pull Sunian down from that high position. These words instantly rendered Lan Min speechless. Lin Na glanced at Lan Min with disdain and left. Soon the draft held by Sunian and Sun Ying came to the end. Lena specially broadcast the live broadcast on the big TV screen. She shook the cup in her hand carelessly. Although she knew very well that Sunian and Sun Ying were tossing this live broadcast just to stomp on Huo Linyuan's face. Of course she admitted that Sunian and Sun Ying did it. Not only did it happen, but it was done beautifully. Even Lin Na admired the two of them. I really admire you. Lin Na put herself in his shoes and thought that if she was deceived by a scumbag, she might not be able to do this. But admiration is a matter of admiration. She knew exactly what she should do. Even if Sunian and Sun Ying are just playing, I can use this opportunity to make a big fuss. Lan Min, when you see those imitators, what do you think? Lin Na looked at Lan Min sitting next to her. They are more or less similar to Huo Linyuan. Don't you have any ideas? Like change the bowl. This frivolous tone immediately made Lan Min's face turn red. Lena, what do you mean? What can I mean? I'm just talking casually. As Huo Linyuan's lover, you want rights but not power, and family background. Even if you are dumped by Huo Linyuan, you can't do such a thing. You will only suffer the consequences of being mute, Lin Na said in a nonchalant tone. Lin Na knew what Li Baikan meant when he asked Lan Min to take Huo Linyuan's life. She was also a little curious. I wonder if this Lanzi will really go. Since this is the case, then slowly ignite the desire in her heart. If this guy really has a brain problem, then it would be really fun. And it's very fun. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 634. Chapter 634 The Happiness of the Rich. Lan Min now feels more and more that he is not a human being in the eyes of Lin Na. It's just a toy. And it's the kind of toy that is thrown away casually. As long as Lin Na doesn't want to play with it, she will definitely discard her toy every minute. Such a feeling really made Lan Min feel uncomfortable. You need to know how you could let such a thing happen when Baikan was by your side. Yes, Baikan. Okay, I won't tell you anymore. Let's just watch the show. After all, this is the show that Sunian and Sun Ying spent so much effort on. If you don't watch it seriously, then we will have wasted them. When Lan Min heard this, he became curious. She has known Lin Na for so long, and she finally understands how ambitious Lin Na is, so she is curious about what Lin Na is preparing for. But it can make Sunian feel uncomfortable. She was very happy. Then the two of them looked at the screen. Lin Na and Lan Min actually didn't pay much attention to the program itself before, but how similar the contestants in this program were to Huo Linyuan. Even in their eyes, Huo Linyuan was unattainable. There can be no second Huo Linyuan in this world. But when all the players appeared, Lin Na and Lan Min were shocked. It's really similar. Not only one person, but also many images. At this time, Lin Na said thoughtfully, I finally understand why Huo Linyuan took the initiative to find the Sun family but asked for marriage. His attitude is different from before. Indeed, if you just like Huo Linyuan's face, then there are so many faces here. Why do you want Huo Linyuan's deity? If one is tired, then change one, although they may have a face, but everyone has a different personality, so there will be a lot of freshness, still Sunian, or Sunian. They know how to play, they really know how to play, they are definitely not pretending to know how to play. When Lin Na said this, she looked at Lan Min next to her. Unexpectedly, I saw Lan Min with a serious face. At this moment, Lin Na really felt like a flock of crows were flying over her head. Hey, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing staring at these fakes? You must know that yours is the real thing. The guy you sleep with every night is the real thing. It is definitely the real thing. Lin Na is now really. I am becoming more and more disgusted with this orchid. He really has no merit at all. But Lin Na was also curious about where Sunian and the others got so many Huo Linyuan from. It doesn't matter if you don't check this. Once you check this, you will be really speechless. I am really speechless. As we all know, this is actually an imitation show competition, so Sunian and Sun Ying told everyone that if anyone wants to become Huo Linyuan through some technical means, just think, and their program team will arrange it. That's right, it's an arrangement. They are all produced by their program team. It is through such artificial means that so many people were created. When Lin Na saw the result, she couldn't help but sigh again. This Sunian and Sun Ying are really not playing with ordinary flowers, they are quite fancy. Even I feel a little regretful now, regretting why I didn't play with them. Become friends, why become enemies? If you become friends with them, then it might be such an interesting thing. These words are a slap in the face. Hey, is this really the happiness of a rich person? No, I am also a rich person, and I have never felt such happiness. Now I really feel that I am a fake rich person. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 635. Chapter 635. Sun Ying I'm a little tired of the aesthetics of that face now. It's wrong for them to act like this. Lan Min held back his words for a long time. Lin Na watched the program with great interest. She is really looking forward to what the two of them will do next. At this moment Sun Ying appeared on the stage. This actually made Lin Na more and more curious. At this moment, Sun Ying was also very nervous. She stood on such a stage, and she wanted to escape all the time. After all, there are so many people and so many eyes. It was okay with Sunian around before, but now she is alone. But Sun Ying knew that at this time, she could not retreat. Dear audience friends, good evening, everyone. I am really excited now. After all, it is our last show. During this time, we have many stories that have never happened before. When we first started hosting this show, I thought of it the moment Sun Ying said it, she really felt her body relaxed a lot. Sure enough, it's much easier once you take the first step. I believe you must have seen on the internet why I held this event. Yes, I just wanted a man for many years. Even though we were very close to marriage at the time, I was still unhappy. After all, his promise to me was to give me the position of his real wife, and he told me not to be greedy. Haha, I really almost agreed at that time. After all, love grows over time, and I might be able to win his heart in a short time. After all, with my means, as long as I want to deal with those coquettish beauties outside, then it can be processed in minutes. Because it's the last recording session. There were many spectators at the scene. But when Sun Ying-er said this, no one spoke. Lin Na in front of the TV screen became more and more curious about what Sun Ying-er wanted to do. Could it be that all these things were done just to give Sun Ying-er a place to make such a declaration? If you have been beaten by a scumbag, you have become a scumbag and want revenge. It does make some sense. But Lin Na always felt that it was not that simple. Lin Na directly picked up the phone and dialed, check it immediately, what are Sunian and Sun Ying-er doing, what are they preparing for, don't miss any action. When Lin Na ordered her men. At the recording site, Sun Ying-er stood on the stage like an extremely bright star. Then I met my sister, Sunian. It was my sister who told me that there is not just one man in this world. After all, there is a saying that goes, a toad with 3 legs is hard to find, but a man with 2 legs is very easy to find. Speaking of which, I'm really not afraid of your jokes. I really thought she was hurting me at the time, and I even felt a little unhappy in my heart. After all, not everyone knows this feeling after loving a man for many years, but she gave me, I said, at best, find a few that look like that man. If one is not enough, then you can just find another one. If the quality cannot keep up, then we will keep up with the quantity. This statement successfully made everyone laugh. Anyway, I'm really tired of the aesthetics of that face now. It just feels like that what Sun Ying-er said is true. These days, she really thought about it carefully. What is so good about that man Huo Lin Yuan? Ever since he met him, he rarely gave himself a good look. Most of the time he had a cold face and a condescending look that was disgusting. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich John Word. Chapter 636. Chapter 636 Lu Jing, why do you always refresh my understanding of you? I'm really glad, I'm glad that I was able to meet my sister. If I hadn't met her, I might not have been able to figure it out in my life. After all, there is a saying that the authorities are confused and the beholder is clear. I am standing here now, I want to do the same thing as me, not letting go of someone who knows that she won't love us. When he said this, the light shone on Sun Ying-er again. Sunian was still wearing the same clothes before. Let all the scumbags die. Before, it was my sister who put on this dress and walked to the stage. Well, although she is younger than me, she is my sister in our relationship, but if anything happens, she will rush in front of me right here. At that moment, Sun Ying-er took off her clothes again. The words on Sun Ying-er's chest were changed to Jaime is always better than a man. I really hope that all of you will be sad in the future, and when you meet scumbags, you will meet good sisters. At this time, the words on Sun Ying-er's clothes changed again. In the following time, the words on Sun Ying-er's clothes began to change with the words. In the end, there was no need to take off clothes at all, it was a direct change. Here, I really thank you all for coming here. Although when you come here, your eyes are on me at the moment, just wanting to see my joke as a woman, but I am still very grateful that you can come here. You are here to witness my transformation, to witness that I will not turn against a man who doesn't love me in the first place, and to witness that I can completely find myself again. When Sun Ying-er finished speaking, he bowed deeply to everyone. The moment she bent down, countless applause erupted from the scene. When hearing these applause, Sun Ying-er breathed a deep sigh of relief. According to the plan, Sunian should stand here and say something to arouse everyone's emotions, but Sunian's current situation is not suitable for coming out. They originally planned to cancel when Sunian could not come here. But Sun Ying-er felt that it was time for her to do it herself. What should she really do? She has finally said goodbye to the stupid woman who sang the song. She can't be that stupid. Won't be so undignified anymore. When she stepped off the stage, Lu Jing appeared in her sight with a face full of excitement. Sun Ying-er, what you just said is really good. Yes, as women, we must improve ourselves. Why should we give face to those stinky men? Those so-called stinky men are very mean. The more you behave, the closer you stick to them, the more they. As Sun Ying-er listened, she immediately felt something was wrong. What does we as women mean? What did you say? Josu also clicked his tongue a few times. Master Lu, you are a bit immoral. After all, we have known each other for so long. Master Lu, you actually didn't tell me your true gender. Master Lu, you are really not enough honest. Lu Jing came back to his senses immediately when he heard this. He seems to have said the wrong thing. After realizing this, Lu Jing took a few steps back. What Aunt Sun said just now is really too good. I was so excited for a moment. Too excited? Sun Ying-er and Josu looked at the person carefully after hearing this. This excitement, can you change your gender? Can you really be excited? Sun Ying-er looked at him carefully and then spoke again. Hey, Lu Jing, why do you always like to refresh my understanding of you? End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 637. Chapter 637, This company is alive. Lu Jing also felt a little regretful. I feel so excited that I can't control myself. Why is this possible? His image. He has a great image of Mr. Lu. Is it all over like this? Lu Jing felt that he could still redeem himself a little. What? Don't say it. With your silly temperament, even if you say something, we won't believe it. Josu was nearby and cooperated, because our brains are not as empty as yours, Mr. Lu. Lu Jing. Sun Ying-er's mood became even better after being tormented by Lu Jing like this. She believes, really believes that she will be happy in the future. At least she will be happy if she has these people around her. On the other hand, Lin Na was anxious. Because Lin Na heard the servant's report. The servant said that now Sunian and Sun Ying-er's company has completely gone on the market. That's right, just put it on the market directly. Storefronts on major website platforms have also appeared, and people with multiple physical sales lines are now beginning to seek cooperation. You must know that when making clothes, no matter what it is, the most important thing is to sell the clothes. It turns out that this was also the reason why she had not paid attention to Sunian and Sun Ying-er before. The Lin family is also very powerful in the clothing industry, and can even be said to be the absolute leader. It's just that the clothing industry is not as profitable as real estate. Go and stop it immediately. No matter what method you think of, you must stop it immediately. If you can't even handle such a thing, then don't appear in front of me. Lin Na is really full of anger now. This was the first time Lan Min saw Lin Na like this. What's wrong? Even if Sunian is really in the clothing industry, you don't need to be so anxious. After all, their designs are not designs at all. Today's consumers are not fools and will buy any clothes. Lena looked up when she heard this. Lan Min was shocked by Lin Na's eyes. Haunting eyes, eyes that feel like they are ready to eat someone at any moment. Lin Na really doesn't want to say anything now. The reason why she was so angry was because what she did during this period was to allow the Lin family to enter real estate smoothly and find development opportunities when the Li family and the Huo family did not get along. But unexpectedly, Sunian stole his home. Such a feeling really made Lin Na very uncomfortable. Lin Na prided herself on being a smart person who could figure out everything since she was a child, but Sunian stole her home quietly. This feeling is really indescribable. As if being laughed at. Lin Na felt that she wanted to eliminate this feeling. Then she started calling many people in charge to question them. But no one thought that Sunian and the others were serious about running the company. Go get serious about growing the company. After all, in the eyes of everyone, Sunian's company is a joke. It is a project that they play casually. They really didn't expect this. They didn't expect this to happen. So the next reply Lin Na got was expressed. Sunian and Sun Ying'er's companies have fully launched their sales channels. All the publicity is on. That's right, this company is alive. Their projects are also alive. At this time, Lin Na thought of the designs that Lan Min had gotten for herself before. Those designs that she didn't even look down on before. Things that are not even considered designs are now selling well. Thinking of this, Lin Na quickly asked Lan Min to go back. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Zhang Word. Chapter 638. Chapter 638 Praising Lu Jing. Return to the company in Lanzhou. I found that the entire company had changed. Everyone is busy. The company that was once lifeless is now alive. Completely alive. Lan Min was stunned when he looked at these people. Why is this happening? You must know that this company was in a half-dead state in the hands of Huo Linyuan. That's it for now. Just when Lan Min was confused, accidentally bump into someone. Looking carefully, it turned out to be Xiao Ding. Xiao Ding, you? Lan Zhen asked subconsciously. But before Lan Min finished speaking, he was interrupted by Xiao Ding. Mr. Lan, what are you doing here? Everyone is going crazy now. Our company is about to release a hit product. It is really going to be an absolute success. It's a hit, ha ha ha. Handout. Lan Min was stunned when he heard these two words. Then Lan Min walked around in a daze. Then he walked to Sunian's office. Of course there is only Sun Ying'er now. By the way, there is also Lu Jing. Seeing Lan Min's confused look, Lu Jing subconsciously wanted to step forward. Bo, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so ugly? Do you feel uncomfortable in any way? If you feel uncomfortable in any way, if so, then just tell me directly. But Lu Jing is really happy now. Lan Min looked so lost. Could it be that after hearing Sun Ying'er's words, he also felt a bit enlightened and realized that Huo Linyuan was not a good guy? If this is really the case, then his opportunity has really come. Just when Lu Jing wanted to say something, Sun Ying'er's voice rang out, Lan Min, the company is good now, aren't you happy? Sun Ying'er asked this. What else could Lan Zhi say after hearing this? But she really doesn't understand why this company is surviving like this. Lan Yu, do you want to know why these clothes are so popular? Lan Ren, who was still struggling with how to find an opportunity to ask this question, was stunned. But the most important thing is the look in Sun Ying'er's eyes at this moment. At this moment, Sun Ying'er's eyes seem to be looking at a loser. But among them, Sun Ying'er is obviously the loser. Why is it like this? It's very simple. We add emotional value to the clothes, just like buying roses for Valentine's Day, so that our customer base can find some sense of identity. Can represent their voices. For example, go to with the scumbag, and long live my best friend. This is ordinary popular sentiment. Coupled with absolute exposure, our products can become hits. Of course Sunian told her this. But when it comes to showing off in front of Lan Min, there is no difference between her and Sunian. Lan Yan was stunned when he heard this. Consumers are not fools. Do you think people who buy our clothes are fools? Sun Ying'er sneered. How many women in this world are broken in love, and how many people are played by men? What we need to do is to arouse the emotions of these people and make them we can find a sense of identity in our products. As long as we grasp this sense of identity, Our products will become popular. Lu Jing. It makes sense, and son, you are so smart, how could you think of this? Lu Jing really didn't expect that he could learn something by following them. Lu Jing's words were like this, and the effect was immediate. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 639. Chapter 639, The Reason Why Lan Min Can't Fall in Love with Lu Jing. How could Lan Min think of this? There is simply nothing to say. Even a little ashamed of myself. But Lan Yan still had a little bit of brain, and at this time he thought of something. Sun Ying'er and Sunian didn't avoid her at all. All designs are not kept secret. In other words, they are not worried about leaking secrets at all. They are not worried about leaking the secret, it's just, they thought they couldn't think of it from the beginning. Sun Ying'er saw Lan Shi's expression and immediately saw what Lan Shi was thinking. In this situation, it can almost be said that Lan Min brought her own face up and asked herself to be beaten. If this is the case, then of course she is welcome. Lan Min, you can't even think of this, right? If you can think of this, then we won't show you the design drawings. Sun Ying'er sighed deeply after saying this. His tone showed a look of helplessness. But the more helpless Sun Ying'er looked, the harder she slapped Lan Min in the face. No man can sit idly by and watch his beloved being wronged. And anyone with a little brain knows that the more this time is, the more time it is to show off, and son, how could you say such a thing? What you said is really a bit too much. Do you really think that everyone is you? Do you have such a smart mind? I don't think it's normal. Lu Jing made a protective gesture when he said this. After Lu Jing finished his attack, he turned around, looked at Lan Min with affectionate eyes and said, "Bo, don't be sad. There are many people in this world, and not everyone is smart, so you must not be too sad. Think." Sun Ying'er, who was next to her, showed a confused face. This. Lu Jing's operation? Lan Min is also speechless. Lan Min really couldn't fall in love with this Lu Jing. Every time I feel a little fond of Lu Jing. How did she like it when she had to face Lu Jing's behavior? Lan Ji even felt that if she married Lu Jing, the children she would give birth to would have IQ problems. For the sake of her children and future generations, she is still a little cautious. Anyway, from now on, this company is completely alive. Not only will it survive, but it may reach the top under the leadership of Nian and I. You must know that this company has failed to recover in the hands of Huo Linyuan, and it may even be it will become a useless chess piece, and it will become like this in our hands. Sun Ying'er said, walking towards Lan Min. Lan Min, do you think we are better than Huo Linyuan? When Lan Min heard this, he almost laughed out loud. As a small company, it can still be better than Linyuan. This Sun Ying'er's vision is really a bit. I know what you are thinking, but it may not work now, but it doesn't mean it won't work in the future. We have taken the first step now. As long as we take the first step, then we can take the second step. We are so step by step, I believe it will happen one day. When Lan Min heard this, his expression suddenly froze. The key was at this moment, fierce applause broke out in her ears. That's right, this applause belongs to Lu Jing. Okay, and son, what you said makes sense. I believe there will come a day when you are so capable and so powerful. You must be so powerful. When the time comes, just take care of Huo Linyuan and let that guy be so powerful. Furious. End of this chapter. The vicious female supporting character's character collapsed after her voice was eavesdropped. Author, R.O. Wich Jong Word. Chapter 640. Chapter 640, Can this woman be more of a bitch? Sun Ying-er looked at Lu Jing, who was full of joy and applauded seriously. Although this guy's brain is a bit short-circuit sometimes and very irritating, he is still useful sometimes. For example now. Of course Lan Min was unwilling to be ridiculed like this. Miss Sun, you are right. I really envy you for having such an opportunity. Not everyone in this world has such an opportunity, because not every girl can having a perfect family background can serve as a background and provide backing, allowing her to do whatever she wants. Too many people are trying to figure out how to have 3 meals a day every day. So, Miss Sun, you and Miss Su are really lucky. Sun Ying-er is not a fool, and of course she understands that Lan Min's words are mocking her. But it really disgusted Sun Ying-er. Can this woman be more of a bitch? But before Sun Ying-er could say anything in return, Lu Jing's voice rang out, Jian-er, how can you think like this? If you think like this, you will appear to be stupid. How can a good little girl say such a thing? When Lu Jing saw Lu Jing, he quickly pulled Lan Min to the side. Jian-er, when did your 3 views become like this? It's wrong for you to be like this. What you said is as if a girl can only rely on her family. If the family doesn't, good girls have no future. If you really think so, the gap between rich and poor in this world will become wider and wider. Didn't you learn these things in class? Lu Jing is really a little disappointed now. But Lu Jing remembered that Lan Min was not such a person before. Why on earth was he like this now? Yes, it must be taught by Huo Linyuan. Lu Jing felt that the burden on him was heavier. I must bring Lan Min back to his correct outlook on life, right? Yes, that's it, she must have the correct outlook. When he thought of this, Lu Jing really felt that the burden on him was very heavy. If everyone thinks like this, what about girls from poor families and their children? If they don't struggle, then they can only be the next generation poorer than a generation ago. Even people from good families like me and Aunt Sun are still struggling. Lu Jing's attitude as a political teacher really left Lan Min speechless. Lu Jing is right, Lan Min, listen carefully and study hard. You may not be as good as me now, but if you work hard now, your future children may be able to compare with my children. Lan Min really didn't know what to say at this time. What is going on with this Lu Jing? Why are you so unable to get off the stage at this time? If it weren't for the sake of so many years of friendship, then Lan Min would really want to curse people, and he would curse them severely. The key point is that Lu Jing didn't notice Lan Min's ugly face at all. Even after Sun Ying-er said this, the expression on his face became more proud. Jian-er, did you hear it? And Sun said that I said so. That's right, so you have to listen to me carefully. If you don't listen to me carefully, you will suffer a lot in the future. Lan Min really feels like he can't bear it now. He really can't bear it anymore. So Lan Min turned around and left. When Lu Jing saw Lan Er walking out angrily, he subconsciously said, Er, why are you leaving? I haven't even finished speaking. Why are you leaving? End of this chapter.